So I've just finished my weekly organizing planning session, and I wanted to share that with you before the day gets away from me because I'll be going more in depth into these items in the next couple of weeks. My weekly sessions at this point have 7 components, so let me briefly tell you what they are. First, I try to go through and clean out my email from the week. I delete emails that I don't need and I take care of other emails that need to have something happen to them. So I clean out my emails. That's the first thing I do. The second component to my weekly sessions is that I go through my Google Calendar. I do use Google Calendar to manage my appointments and my events that are coming up. So I take a look at them to see what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. The third component of my weekly sessions is managing my to do list. I have tried many different ways of managing what I need to do. I don't get everything done, but I try to get most things done. And I currently have been going back to a method I used to use in the past, and that is tracking all my to do items on index cards. Every time I think of something I need to do, it goes on an index card, and then I manage them. And I use a principle that's taught by Lisa Woodruff of Organize 365. She calls it her Sunday basket system. I don't do the full thing, but I do elements of it. So managing my to-do items on note cards or index cards it's been very, very helpful, and I've recently returned to doing this. The fourth aspect of my weekly sessions involve using my daily planner. I have a love-hate relationship with planners. You may have seen me post before about different ways I've been approaching how I do my planning, but I do like to use them. So this year I'm trying again, and at this time being the end of the year, I said, okay, 2026, I'm going to try again. And so I have a daily planner. What do I do with this? I go through it and I put my upcoming events that are on my Google Calendar. I put them in print here. I like having a physical complement to my digital calendar, and I do some other things. I'll be sharing more about it later. But I use my physical daily planner as a counterpart to my digital tools. The fifth component of my weekly sessions involves the use of 2 notebooks that I created or modified. These are composition notebooks that I put covers on, and I have specific purposes for what I do with these. The one with the Lorax on it, I've done videos before about these, but this is what I consider like my captain's log. It's just a documentation of what happens and what I do in a day. So I consider this just like my timelines. I call it my timelines notebook. This particular notebook with the maze on it is my commonplace book. And if you're familiar with commonplace books, it's just a way to capture things that are of interest to you that caught your fancy. I document those in here. So I work with these 2 notebooks. That's part number 5 to my system. I had to keep up with where I'm at, but this is the fifth component, is working with these notebooks. Now, the sixth part of my plan or my process is brand new. I just ordered a new planner, and this thing is huge. Do you see how big this is? This is the case that it comes in, and I love the front of the case or the plastic sleeve. Own your year. What is this? Well, I will let you read the title of it. And this is exactly what it is. It is a big planner. What makes this so interesting to me is that it's essentially a desk calendar in print format, and it's foldable. So you can look at your whole month in a big view across the pages. And there's a spread for every month of the year. Now, what is particularly good about this planner as well is that there is a calendar that covers the entire year on 2 pages. So I'll be filling this out so that I can look at my year as a whole. That is what appealed to me about this. And like I said, this is brand new. I'm just now starting to use it. So I'll be sharing my experiences as I do. But this is going to be what I use for my strategic planning. I want to have some intention for 2026. So this is going to help me do that. I'm excited to get to play with my new big planner. And the seventh component of my weekly organizing and planning sessions involves using my Notion database. This screenshot behind me is a capture of my template that I use in Notion. It's a template that I purchased from Thomas Frank. It's called Ultimate Brain. I think that's what's called Ultimate Brain or Ultimate Second Brain. I'll have to look that up. But I've been using this template for more than a year now, and it's been wonderful to help me stay organized. I group my life into 4 major categories, as you see listed here. So having the ability to enter my my things I've done and things I'm doing into my Notion account truly is my second brain. It's all searchable, it's all organized. It has been fantastic to use. Of course, you don't need this level of complexity if you're looking to get a grasp on how you can be strategic in your organizing and your planning for your own life. It really can be as simple as just setting aside 15 minutes, 30 minutes to think about what needs your attention this week. So as I mentioned at the top of the video, I'm going to be doing more videos in the next couple of weeks to go more in depth into each of these aspects of my own organizational system and planning system in case it's something you find helpful. I'll talk about each aspect, which I consider these to be my life OS. Like this is how I organize my life. I also have a method for organizing genealogy and family history. So I'll not only share my life OS, but I'll talk about my genealogy and family history OS, how I keep all that organized. And I'll be sharing tips along the way in case you find it to be helpful. So if you find this real life, approach as I'm sharing it to be something you'd be interested in, I invite you to make sure you like this video, like this post, so that you'll be notified as I continue to share, and follow me for more in the next couple of weeks. As we close out the year, getting organized is something that many people are interested in. But just keep in mind, organization isn't about doing more. It's about making sure you find ways to do things that mean the most to you. See you in the next video.